Hello everyone, welcome to Onyx Earth Tarot. Everything you need to know about me is in the description box below. Today's pick a card reading is going to be ways you self-sabotage. Now, this is general. It's going to be just how you self-sabotage in general. It's not going to be looking at any specific situation. If any specific situations come up, obviously I will reference them. I'll reference anything that comes up relevant to the issue of your self-sabotage. But again, it's general. It's just the way that you do it on average regularly in your day-to-day life. Okay, as always, this is a timeless reading, so whenever you stumble upon it, it should be relevant to your life if it's for you. Okay, with that being said, let's get into it. We've got pile 1, pile number 2, and this is pile 3. I'll give you a moment to meditate on your pile. If you need more time, go ahead and pause the video. All right, pile 1, ways you self-sabotage. So you have one way, and it's a very clear and very important way that you are self-sabotaging. And it upsets me because it's really sad that this is your method of self-sabotage. Obviously, there is no good way to self-sabotage. I mean, you're stopping your own progress, but I know you mean well, and this is a very positive trait you have, but you just need to reel it in a little bit because you are humble and caring to a fault. Okay, so I'm seeing that you self-sabotage by allowing people to take advantage of you. Now, you're a people pleaser that often takes on more than you can handle to the point where you barely have any energy for yourself. Okay? I see that. Especially with that 2 of Pentacles, juggling of things, that 8 of Pentacles, you're very much working. And the only time you say no to people is when they offer you assistance or offer to help you in some way, especially with that no card and that 4 of Cups. This is you rejecting help and assistance. So let people help you, pile number 1. This is very important. There's some things you can't do by yourself, okay? Especially when you're overextending yourself, okay? So Spirit is also saying that those 2 cards, the no and the 4 of Cups, like Spirit is asking you to set boundaries, okay? You should say no. You should reject offers that of overextending yourself and juggling multiple projects at one time, okay? So create balance and don't allow yourself to be overwhelmed, especially by things that really don't concern you, because these aren't your projects. These are the projects of other people, right? And the High Priestess says that you already know this. And it also shows that you like to or have a tendency to fade into the background or remain hidden from the recognition of your efforts. Okay, so basically you do all the work and all for no one to know. Like no one will ever know that it was you that single-handedly did all of these things because you fade into the background. Okay, and I see people probably take credit for your work, skills, and accomplishments, and I definitely see that you fade into the background with that don't dim the fit in card and that let it shine. It means you've been hiding, especially with that High Priestess card. Okay, so you're letting people take credit for your work, skills, and accomplishments, and Spirit says a hard, firm no to you ever letting that happen again. Like you have no and you have don't. So no, wait, postpone, pause, say no. Don't dim to fit in. How are you dimming your light in order to fit in? Again, people pleasing, trying to make sure that people happy, buying friendship, buying love, you know, thinking that there has to be some kind of transaction to happen for you to be cared for. You have to release that, because that's how you're self-sabotaging, okay? So, and again, next to the don't dim the fit in, it says let it shine. That's two separate decks with the same message. It's telling you don't dim and to shine. Two different decks giving you the same message, okay? Like I said, stop overextending and diminishing yourself. Step out into the light and let people see you. Be that peacock. They strut, they're flashy, they attract a lot of attention. That is what you need to do. This is how you can stop self-sabotaging. You have to make yourself seen, okay? Because the overall theme here is you giving your accomplishments, giving your success, and giving your praise away. That is how you self-sabotage. It's all here. You've done the work. You've created the project. It's done. You've actually done more than your project. You've done everyone else's too. And then the time comes like, oh, this was really good. I'm so glad that this got done. Not only do you not take credit for the one you did, you should be taking credit for all of it that you've done, because you've worked very much hard on these projects. So take your credit for it. Don't self-sabotage by hiding and fading and overextending because you're afraid that the people you're helping won't care about you anymore. Because if that happens, then they weren't your people to begin with, and you're better off, because this is feeling very one-sided. The things you're taking on for other people, you are doing more of a service to them than they are you. If you could just, if it needs to be a period of alone time for you to stay away from the people taking advantage of you, then maybe that is what you need. It actually is for your best interest, because you are self-sabotaging by allowing people to use you. Okay? That's what I have for you, pile number one. If this resonated, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, pile two, ways you self-sabotage. So I'm seeing strongly a message of being impatient and not being willing to do the work, like microwave speed. Like, I want this fine dining experience, but I also don't want to take the time to prep the food, to cook it in the oven and on the stove. I really would just much rather just rip the packet off and put it in the microwave. That's what I'm getting. And that impatience for waiting for whatever it is, or taking the time to do things properly, is really your self-sabotage, in that you skip steps, so you lack knowledge, you lack skills, and you mess everything up, right? You have slow and steady wins the race, right? Take your time, okay? You have break the chain, ancestral patterns healing, rewriting the future, and surrender now. You also have the judgment on top of the hermit. All of those tie in, right? You need to be doing the work. You need to be growing and healing and developing. When I say do the work, I don't mean necessarily pull in to hermit mode. That's not what I'm saying. I actually don't feel that that's necessarily what you need to be doing, specifically pile number two, even though that's what that card says. When I'm reading the hermit for you as self-evaluation, right? You don't need to shut yourself in the dark and not go outside. I'm saying you need to reevaluate yourself, understand who you are at the core and how you operate. Because in that break the chain card, there's something in you that you were raised in, that you were created in, right? Like an ancestral pattern, something that maybe you do, that your parents did, that their parents did. There's something that you need to release that's holding you back. And you being so stuck in your ways as you were raised, as you feel you were born, you're not growing. You're not moving into that Six of Swords energy of leaving behind what no longer serves you. That's what you're struggling with. But Right now, Spirit wants you to know, surrender now. And you have that Judgment card. Now is the time, because you have to break that chain. That chain has to break. You have the Yes card, which is funny because Pile 1 had the No card, but you have to say yes. You actually have to change these habits. You have to slow down, take your time, because I feel like Pile 2, there's a certain advantage in life you feel you don't have because of these ancestral patterns. Like, because of the way you grew up or where you come from, that chain, you feel like it binds you to that, whatever that ancestry or habit is. Like, you feel like you're binded to it, and that it's a limitation, and that limitation can't be helped. That is just a liability, and it's always going to be a liability. But slowly and surely you can release that energy and move forward, because again, with that 3 of Pentacles and that great gathering, I see a soul tribe coming in. I actually see, for some of you very specifically, the message just came through, and I feel like I've had a lot of readings that have said that you have to leave your family behind. Okay, with that break the chain ancestral patterns, that 6 of Swords moving, and I see with that Hermit, maybe it means you need to be alone for a little while, right? You're going to be alone. There's a period where you will be to yourself, and that 3 of Pentacles is building of a team. It's a new collaboration, especially with that Great Gatherings card. That is, it's all coming together, intuitive hits, soul tribe. So you have to leave your old family and find your family you're supposed to meet in this life. And Spirit is, with that Yes card, making sure that you know this is right. This is how it's supposed to happen. It's sad, it's scary, but yes, you do have to leave that old family behind and find a new one. And it doesn't just have to be as deep as your actual family. It could be like graduating from school, switching schools, a new job, just leaving back an old family situation and moving into a new one. Your old friendship group that you've outgrown, and finding your new soul tribe, the people you're supposed to be friends with long term. That's what I see for a lot of you. But back to that message of impatience, okay? Because the one I just gave was a very specific message. You have to take your time and gain the skills that you need, because if you don't break that chain and undo the things if you don't unlearn bad habits before you progress, it's going to ruin you. And I find that because this is the way you self-sabotage, that impatience and lack of knowledge and skills, there's lots of things that just didn't work out, and you probably think that it's other people, but it's not. It's you. You lack the skills and the knowledge. You have negative habits and patterns that when you step into a situation, you just mess it up yourself. Like, even if there's people out there that don't like you, Pile number 2, the way you live currently, you'll get in a situation where you're feeling ahead, and let's say someone doesn't like you and they want what you have. They don't have to worry about like being negatively impacting you. They don't have to self-sabotage you, because the way they see you, they're like, oh, don't worry about it. Pile 2 is going to mess that up. Don't worry. I give it a month. Like, that's how people see you right now, because I bet that's how people see you. And I feel like strongly because your impatience, and there's a certain nuance to the way that things have to happen that you lack, okay? It says the abundant universe will provide. You have to trust that things will happen in the time that they're meant to happen, especially with that Judgment card, and especially with that Yes card. You are built for success. You just have to put in that work, that 3 of Pentacles, that building of something, okay? That collaboration with other people, because maybe you lack the ability to work with other people. I'm hearing that as well. That could be part of that chain you need to break. You don't really like dealing with other people or whatever, or the way you deal with other people isn't necessarily the best or the healthiest way to establish and maintain relationships. I can see that as well. But lots of things, lots of messages coming in, a person being set in their ways and not really being open to growth and gaining of skills, and taking their time with things that they want, right? Taking your time with projects and relationships, and patience with other people as well. That's all of those things tie in. So take what resonates, okay, pile 2? With that being said, if it did resonate, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, pile 3, ways you self-sabotage. So you probably want to pick pile 2 because there are similar themes of impatience and not taking your time and lacking skills to do things. But I feel like in pile 2, it probably stemmed from a place of more negative patterns, learned behaviors. With you, it comes from a lack of trust in the universe, in God, whatever you may believe. So, and I say that because there is very strong things of it. Like that 10 of Wands is very strong, fighting the energy, and you probably have issues with religion. I'm just feeling like you're one of those people that has very strong issues with religion. If you don't, leave that if it doesn't resonate, but I just see some of you do, especially with that Trust the Great Mystery and the Hierophant card. It's just some kind of clash of religion, right? Especially relating to the family. So maybe the family tradition. Again, there are similar themes, but from a different perspective as pile 2. Especially now that I'm realizing that the initiation card is there. So probably some type of religious upbringing in your family. I could see, because we have the 10 of Pentacles, which is like a family structure, like generational, and then you have the Hierophant, which would be institutional religion, and the initiation, like something you would need to be initiated into, like similar to a baptism in Christianity, that kind of thing. It clearly is something that I feel like it may have even traumatized you, especially with that learn from the past card. So you have some healing to do from the past related to religion, some of you. If not, just something dealing with initiations that could be adding to how you self-sabotage, okay? Okay, a strong lack of faith, a very strong lack of faith, because you're very overactive, okay? That Lemuria card is creating heaven on earth, is happening. But the way that I'm reading it right now with that 10 of Wands, you're actively trying to create heaven on earth. Like you're not allowing things to flow, which is why you have that Trust the Great Mystery. You're overactive, especially physically with that 10 of Pentacles. You're very overactive because you have 2 10s. Like that's max energy. That's maxing out in every suite. You know, like each tarot deck has, you know, the 4 suites. You have the Wands, the Pentacles, the Swords, and the Cups. You've maxed out the energy and you've maxed out the physical. Like the willpower and the fire of the Wands and the earth, physical of the Pentacles. You are maxed out. And then you have the Hierophant, which again, it's almost like you're trying to manifest. And whereas like the Magician, you know, the Magician puts what it needs to put out there for it to come back. Similar to the High Priestess, the Hierophant is very physical. This is why it represents the structural religious aspect of it, of spirituality. Like it is the structure, the institution of it. So it's like you lack faith, you don't believe in the higher power, therefore you are overactive in trying to create your world because you don't trust that there's something greater than you working in your favor. That is how you're self-sabotaging right now, especially with that initiation. I do see you finding some type of faith. I'm not saying you're going to be religious, but you may, because you may still not identify. You don't have to, but there's going to be something that's going to happen that's going to awaken you to, okay, it's not just me. There is something out there, you know, that something that'll awaken you in that way, because right now you lack the ability to see. You lack faith. Okay, so there's something from the past that ruined this for you, and that's why you're overactive, because whatever happened in the past, you're clinging to it, and you're trying to over manage your life and the world around you. Like you're trying to over manipulate the world around you. There's things you can't control. You won't be able to. That's not how it happens. Okay? It's not how it happens. But I see that that is exactly what you're trying to do. And again, you have learned from the past. Don't let that hold you back. Trust the great mystery. And then you have let spirit be your guide. Okay? You have starseed. What lights you up? Right? What lights you up? You need to find that, because right now you're operating from a place of fear, lack, and like specifically a lack of faith. So if you're struggling, like when you feel like things are blowing up in your faces, because you're already operating from an energy of things won't work out unless I do it, and you can't do everything. Sometimes it takes other people, sometimes it just takes other things. You need assistance from spirit. You can't be in control of everything. So your overbearing need to control things is your self-sabotage, your lack of faith that other people, other entities, the higher power can assist you. That is your self-sabotage. Okay? So let's see what else I can see before I close this out. Yeah, so you're definitely in that initiation card, like you're coming out, like it's not in order, but you're coming out of that cave, and it's like you're sitting there in that starseed card, contemplating life. And notice she's just sitting there. She's not actively doing anything. And then if you pay attention, she's looking out. If you zoom out of that image, I'm certain that that edge of the cliff she's sitting on is those mountains in the Lemuria card. It's manifesting without her being overly active. She just was in the cave, working on other things, and then she came out to this beautiful world. That is what spirit is telling you that you need to do. Okay, let spirit be your guide. Okay, learn from the past, trust the great mystery. It's happening, especially with that 10 of Pentacles. Whatever it is that you want, you desire, will happen tenfold. Okay, especially with those 2 10s. It's happening, it's manifesting. You just have to stop over manipulating things and people. Okay, so that's all I have for you, pile number 3. If this resonated, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.